Hello everybody. Welcome to Yoga for Self-Love with Kim. I'm Kim. This will be about a 30-minute super gentle practice with the focus on bringing in some tools to help with stomach upset, nausea, morning sickness, digestive issues, or maybe just anxious tummy. So we'll use a few props. If you have these things, grab them, and if you don't, then you can modify. If you have some yoga blocks, grab those. If you have a folding chair, grab that. If you don't have a folding chair, you could use a ottoman or couch, be near a couch or something. If you have a yoga bolster, you could use that, or maybe a pillow if you don't have that, or a couch cushion, and also maybe a couple yoga blankets or towels if you don't have the yoga blankets. So just gather your things and bring yourself into a comfortable space. So you can find a seated position, you can bring yourself into Savasana, or if you would like, you could bring yourself onto your left side of your descending colon, and make yourself comfortable there. So you may want to tuck a blanket underneath your head. You may even want to grab a bolster or a blanket and bring it in between your legs. And come down onto your left side, but not on the left side of your arm. You can come down onto the back side of your left shoulder blade. So you bring yourself into whatever position feels best for you to begin your practice. And close your eyes. And take a moment to check in. Notice how you're doing. How do you feel today? How does your body feel? How does your mind feel? What's going on for you today? No judgment. Just be curious about where you're starting from. As always, I invite you to bring in the intention to move through your practice today with love, kindness, gentleness, patience, and compassion for yourself. You're doing the best you can. Honor yourself, honor where you are today. Every day is different. Be gentle. Allow yourself to begin to relax the whole body, starting with your feet, moving up through the legs, up through the torso, shoulders and arms, hands and fingers, relaxing through your neck, your throat, and your jaw, relaxing your face and your eyes, your forehead and your scalp, relaxing and opening through the crown of your head. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Begin to rub your hands together to generate a little bit of heat. And then bring your hands to rest on your belly, or you could have one hand on the low belly and one hand a little higher up on the solar plexus, right beneath the rib cage. Imagine that you are sending your own healing energy into your body. And begin to bring your focus to your breath now. Inhaling in through the nose, down into the belly. Feeling the belly expand, sideways, low back. And feeling the low rib cage expand up into the upper chest. And as you exhale, releasing the breath from the chest, the rib cage, the belly, up and out through the nose. Take a few deep breaths in through the nose, down into the belly, feeling the belly, expand the abdomen all the way around the body, 360 degrees, feeling the rib cage expand all the way around, front to back, side to side, drawing the breath up into the upper chest. Again, filling the chest all the way around, front to back, side to side, releasing the breath out through the nose. And a few more deep breaths like this. Now begin to introduce a count here, counting your inhalation, counting your exhalation. Just noticing if they're of the same length or if one is longer than the other, taking a few cycles of breath to notice that. And if you've noticed a difference now in between the length of your inhalation and your exhalation, begin to equalize them out. So you make them the same length here. So introducing that count in your mind again, counting the breath. Same count for the inhalation, same count for the exhalation. Now take a few cycles of breath, making your exhalation slightly longer than your inhalation. So just a count or two, a second or two longer. If it's not too stressful, you could make it even longer. But you want to keep everything calm and relaxed so you're not bringing any stress in. And you can let that go. Release your hands. Begin to call yourself back now and invite some gentle movement into your body. Wiggle fingers and toes, yawn, sigh, wiggle, stretch. If you are not on your back, then slowly find your way over onto your back. Extend the legs down, reach the arms up overhead. Reach out through the fingers and the toes, reach up through the right fingers and down through the right toes. Reach up through the left fingers, down through the left toes, and then reach the whole body long again. Let everything relax. Now draw the knees into your chest. And take the arms out to the sides in a T formation. And slowly drop your knees over towards the right side. And then bring your knees back up through center. Drop the knees over towards the left side. And then knees back up through center. Once more, drop the knees over to the right. And then bring your knees back up to center. Drop the knees over to the left. And then bring your knees to center. Now drop your feet down to the mat. Knees bent. Bring the arms down alongside your body, palms facing down towards the mat. Press into your feet. You're going to slowly lift your hips, your pelvis up off of the mat, coming into a little bridge. Press down into the feet as you lift up the hips, finding some opening through the front body, and then slowly lower your hips down. And again, press down into your feet, down into your fingers, and slowly lift the hips up. You can begin to draw the shoulders together underneath you. Maybe lift the hips up a little bit higher. But still taking it nice and easy. And then slowly release your hips down. And then one more time, press down into the feet, press down into the hands, lift the hips up. And then release your hips back down to the mat. Slowly roll yourself over to one side. Use your hands to press yourself up. And bring yourself into a comfortable seated position, whatever that feels like for you. Shins crossed, legs wide, soles of the feet together, or the legs extended out in front of you, or you could come up on to the knees here. You can sit up on something. Take the right fingers underneath the right shoulder, reach the left arm up along the ear. Root down through the sitting bones, the pubic bone, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Nice long side body. Gently begin to fold yourself over towards the right. Rib cage up and over the right side of the pelvis. Reach up and out through the left fingers and down through that left sitting bone. And then bring yourself up to center, take it over to the other side, drop the left fingers down, reach that right arm up, and then gently you fold it over towards the left. Again, left side of the rib cage up and over the left side of the pelvis, both sides of the body nice and long so you're not crunching through that left side. And then back up to center. One more time to each side, drop the right hand down, left arm up over the ear, you gently fold it over to the right, finding space through the side body, and then back through center over to the other side. Left hand drops down, right arm reaches up, and you gently fold it over to the left. Back up to center. Now take your fingers back behind you, press into your finger pads, and lift your heart up, lift the gaze up. Again, finding some opening through the front of the body. And then bring yourself back to center. Now take soles of your feet together. Knees will come wide. You can take the fingers around behind you, press down into your fingers, sit up nice and tall. You can stay here or begin to slowly hinge from your hips and fold yourself forward. Spine nice and long, heart reaching for the toes. And then lift it up. Take that left knee, drop it over on top of the right, left foot to sit in the inner arch of that right foot. Take your fingers around behind you. Lift your heart and your gaze up towards the right. And then bring yourself to center. We'll just flip the legs over. Right knee on top of the left, right foot sitting in the left inner arch, fingers around behind you, lift your heart up. And then bring yourself back through center. Now, we'll take it into a squat pose, Malasana. Get some grounding action here. So you could use a blanket here. And you could tuck that blanket underneath your heels. Take your feet wide. Toes and knees angling out towards the outer edges of your mat. And especially if your heels don't come all the way down to the mat, you may want to tuck that blanket underneath the heels, and you can roll it up if you need a little bit more height. Take the palms together, elbows inside the knees. Drop your tailbone down and reach up through the crown of your head. And then we'll tuck that right elbow inside that right knee. Take your left hand to that left knee and gently lift the heart up to the left. And then switch to the other side. Left elbow inside that left knee. Right hand to that right knee and lift your heart up to the right. And then bring it back to center. Walk your hands forward. Move the blanket out of your way for now. We'll come into a table position on your hands and knees. Begin to rock your hips from side to side, just bringing some gentle movement into the body. Bring it to center. And now we'll roll through some cat-cow. Inhale as you lift the tail, let the belly soften, lift the heart, lift the gaze. And exhale as you root down into your fingers and round up through your back. A couple more times. So you roll yourself through your cat-cow. And then bring yourself back to center. Send that right leg back behind you, hip level-ish. We'll slowly bend the right knee, draw it in towards the nose, chest, forehead. Slowly step or carry that right foot up to the top of the mat. Bend that right knee. And then we'll keep the left fingers down on the mat. Take this into a gentle low lunge twist. If you like, you could grab a block, put it underneath your left hand, then begin to reach that right elbow up towards the ceiling, and then slowly unfurl the right arm. Gently spin the heart up to the right, gaze shifts up, and then bring yourself back to center. Step that right foot back. Other side, extend the left leg back behind you, bend that left knee, draw it in. Step that left foot up, top of your mat, bend that left knee tracking over your ankle. If you like, tuck that block underneath your right hand. Begin to bend that left elbow, peel the arm up towards the sky. And then left hand comes down to the mat. Step yourself back into your table. We'll tuck toes under. Press into the hands. Glide your hips up into a downward dog. Press down and out through the hands, down through the heels. Begin to pedal out your legs. And then slowly walk yourself up to the top of your mat. Feet about hip width distance. Folding from the hips, bring the belly to the thighs. Let your head go. Release the hands down or grab elbows. Shake, nod the head. Look right, look left. Rock the hips if you like. Nice deep breaths here. If you like, you could take the hands around behind the legs. Give yourself a little hug here. And then take hands to your thighs, press down into the thighs, begin to lift yourself all the way up. Turn to face that long edge of your mat, step your feet wide. And now turn your toes out, turn your heels in, bend your knees, lower the hips down, press the hands into the thighs, lengthen up through the crown of the head, heart lifted, grounding down through the heels. Rock yourself side to side. Bring yourself to center, lift the arms up, cactus the arms or goalpost arms. And then straighten the legs, release the arms down, turn your feet in, step your feet together. Turn to face the top of your mat. Take the arms out to the sides and up. Palms together overhead. Soften the knees, pull the hips back, and we'll fold back in to our forward fold. Moving nice and slowly, hands come back down to the mat. You step back out into downward dog. Pedal out your legs. Walk out. And then lower knees down to the mat. Come back to sit on your heels. Now, grab your blankets or towel or whatever you've got. I've got a yoga blanket. So I've got it in this rectangle shape here. I'm going to fold it over. So it's about half the width here. Take the blanket down onto the mat and we'll come down onto our belly. So your belly will be on top of your blanket or your towel or whatever you've got. Now, if this doesn't work for you, belly down, or if you are pregnant and you don't have room in the belly there, you could instead bring yourself into a wide knee child's pose. Bring your bum back to your heels. You could also tuck a blanket under the knees here, or you could tuck a blanket behind the back of the calves, the legs. That feels better for you. And you could rest the forehead down onto a block or a bolster. So wide knee child's pose if you like that better. Otherwise, bring yourself down onto the blanket, onto your low belly. Sometimes the compression can feel good for an anxious or upset tummy. And you can bring the arms up to the top of your mat, make a little pillow, rest your forehead down. A few deep breaths here. And now bend your left knee, take your left knee out to the side, knee about hip level-ish. And you can bring the forehead back down to the hands, or you could turn to one cheek. A few nice deep breaths here. If you like, you could return to the longer exhalation here as well. And then we'll bring the left knee back in. Switch it to the other side. Now bend your right knee. Take the right knee out to the right side about hip level-ish. You can turn to the other cheek here if you like, or keep resting down on your forehead. Come back to the breath. And then slowly bring that right leg back in. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Press yourself up and back to sit on your heels. You can move your blanket out of the way. If you've got a bolster or a pillow, you may want to use that now. Come down on to your back. Grab your bolster. And let's take it over to the right side of the mat. We'll take it into a reclining twist. Bend that left knee, draw the knee into the chest. Hug it in. If it feels better for the belly, you could take the knee a little bit wider. But the pressure might feel good. And then we'll slowly begin to draw that left knee over towards the right side onto the bolster or pillow, or you could use a stack of blankets over here. You can open the left arm out to the left side. The left shoulder doesn't come all the way down to the mat comfortably. You could tuck a blanket underneath the left shoulder. Could also reach the left arm up along the ear, or even bend that left elbow and cactus the arm out to the side. And turn the head whichever way it feels best. And then slowly bring yourself back to center. Draw that left knee into the chest. Release that leg down. Move your bolster over to the other side. Just move this over here, Gussie. And then bend the right knee, draw the right knee into your chest, and then slowly draw that knee over towards the left to rest on the bolster or blanket. Open that right arm out to the right side. And then bring yourself back to center. Draw both knees into your chest. Rock side to side. And roll yourself over to one side and slowly press yourself up. Now grab your folding chair if you have one. Take it up to the top of the mat. You may want to put a blanket on the chair. You may want to also sit on a blanket. Take the legs wide. You want to start with a nice upright alignment of the spine. So if you need a little bit more height to make that happen, then feel free to fold over the blanket or sit up on another blanket as well. Draw the chair in towards you, legs wide. You can have a big or little bend in the knees here. Fold forward from the hips and then bring the arms to rest on your chair. You could also put some more height up on the chair if you needed, another blanket or block here, and then release your forehead down to your support here. And relax and breathe and be here in the moment with yourself and your breath. Now I invite you to stay here for your Savasana or find your comfortable space. You could come down onto the left side again. You could come down into Savasana, or you could use the chair and elevate the legs up on the chair, which can feel really nice and calming. You could put a blanket underneath your head. You may also want to put a blanket on top of your belly while you're here. Give yourself a little compression, a little grounding. So come down onto your back. You can roll yourself around, legs up on the chair. You want to have about a 90-degree angle with the knees here. So if you need to elevate your pelvis up to make that happen, if you're a smaller person like me, or if you are a taller person, you may want to add some support up onto the chair seat or couch or whatever you're using here. Lower yourself down, head onto blanket, or again, if you like, fold up a blanket, plop it right across your belly. And feel very comforting and grounding. Close your eyes again. Come back to your breath. Bring in that longer exhalation. It can help to calm the nervous system. Stay here for as long as you like. The longer the better. When you feel ready, begin to call yourself back. Invite movement in. Wiggle fingers and toes. Yawn. Sigh. Wiggle. Stretch. Again, rub your hands together, create some heat. Bring your hands back to rest on your belly, or one hand on the low belly, one hand on the solar plexus. Sending yourself some love, some healing energy. Come back to your intention. Treat yourself with love, kindness, gentleness, patience, and compassion. You are awesome. Thank yourself for showing up for you, for your practice. Be on your own side. Release your hands. Slowly roll yourself over to your left side. Pause here. And then slowly press yourself back up. Come back into a comfortable seat. Bring your palms together at your heart. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I hope that you found some relief through this practice, through some of these postures, tools, breathing techniques. With love and gratitude, namaste.